Okay, hello, good morning everyone. I would like to see whether my audio is working or not. How do I sound? Am I clear enough? Morning. Okay, can you all hear me? Am I clear enough? Is there any echoing? Morning friends, so many friends in here. Okay. Okay. How do I sound? Am I alright? Can you all hear me? Hello? Hi? Okay, so can you hear me, everyone? Am I quite clear? Is my projection clear as well? Yes, okay, good. Hi Shafiza. Hello friends. Okay, so loud and clear. Okay, good. Right? So, okay. I hope everything is all right. All right, so everybody can hear me, yeah? How are your students? Are they ready? Are they there? We will start at 8 o'clock, okay, giving the chance and opportunity for our Kinta Utara students from 5 yeah, to be ready by 8. So I will start at about 8 in the morning, okay? I just want to run the audio first. So I hope everything is okay. Okay, Shafiza, you said loud and clear. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Puan Maheswari. Yes, we can hear you. Okay, good. So if let's say during the course of my delivery, during my presentation, okay, if let's say I buffer. Okay, so let's say during my presentation, during my delivery, something goes a little bit wrong, maybe there's buffering or you can't hear me, I get disconnected or something, when it comes to technology and all, please do let me know, yeah? You can either WhatsApp me or just type it here in our this channel, right? So that I know what's going on. Okay, thank you. Bunyi baik, loud and clear from Tanjung Rambutan. Okay, thanks. Okay, Tanjung Rambutan. So can you just write there in our chat box how many of your students are going to be following our slot, our workshop today for DW and also CW? How many from Tanjung Rambutan? How many from ACS? Are all of them there? How many? Kak Rosni from SMK Ulu Kinta. Okay, hello, all these are my friends. Thirty students. Okay, all right. Samtat has 30 students. Okay. Hi, morning, Evelyn. Good morning. Sri Kledang Sri Kledang about 140 students, many of them. I wonder, do you put them all in a hall or, in a few classes? Okay, good, good. I'm expecting quite a crowd. Yes, we are talking about the whole Kinta Utara, and we seldom have this. And most of the time, we only send like 8 students for every year, representatives. 47 from Tanjung Rambutan, 2 venues. Great. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. Hi, Izaim. Sri Ampang ready. Okay, good, good. ACS 24 students. Okay, fantastic. So again, teachers, I'd like to ask, am I clear? Am I loud enough? Can you see me? And after this, when I share screen with you, I hope you can see whatever that I'm sharing. Okay, we are all ready to excel. We are ready to, okay. Let's give it about 5 minutes, okay, 5 to 6 minutes, then we will start, okay. PGS, okay, you are with 120 pupils. All right, it is clear. Thank you, Albert. Thank you, Albert. Okay, good. Okay. Okay. Okay, Sri Intan, 15 students using projector. Dato Ahmad Said, 30 students. Okay, Das. Okay, welcome, welcome. Hi, hi Komalam, hi Puan Komalam. Alright, SMK Kampung Pasir Putih, welcome. Welcome Mahat Tafiz, Al-Quran, Bakib. Okay, good. Okay. Hi Suzy, how are you? Sri Pengkalan ya? Kampung Bekalan, okay. Hi. Hi SMK Raja Chulan, how are you? Okay, hi. Alright. I wonder if my Binun students are ready. My own Binun students, where are you? Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, it is almost 8 o'clock in the morning, right? And I'm about to start. Um, okay, I can see that many schools are ready by now. Yeah, thank you so much for your responses, your feedback. So hello all Form 5 students in Kinta Utara district especially. And I believe that there are also other students maybe from other parts of Perak, other parts of from other states are joining us as well. Okay, loud and clear here. We are super ready. All right, thank you very, very much. Okay. Um, I can see that almost many schools are ready. So I'll give it a few more minutes before I really start. So I'd just like to say a shout out, a good morning to everyone out there, teachers, students. Let's make this happen. So this morning you will be with me first for a 2-hour session for directed writing. All right, before we continue at 10:30 to be with Mr. Mohana from MGS for continuous writing. Okay, I know I can't see you waving back at me, but teachers, can you please sort of like take pictures or record your students waving to the screen? Okay, hello everyone, my Binance students. I hope everyone is in the hall right now. I'll be with you right after this. Okay, and to other schools, other students, welcome again, welcome. And let's pick up something useful, hopefully for you to attempt directed writing. Okay, hello, welcome, AMC. Okay, I'll start in about 2 minutes. Okay, for your information, I have with me in front of me two monitors. Okay, so I am teaching using my PC here, and another monitor is for me to see the chat box. Okay, and to see how my presentation appears. All right, so you'll be seeing my eyes here and there, and you'll be seeing me looking at my notes as well. Yeah, so that I'm able to deliver what I'm supposed to do. All right, just to explain, because you will be seeing me looking here and there, switching screens and all. Okay, let us start. I hope everyone is ready. I am going to begin our workshop this morning. Okay, so again, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning everyone to all teachers and students, yeah, pupils from fives of our Kinta Utara district. So welcome to our Kinta Utara district SPM Academic Excellence Workshop 2020. So for this morning, as you know it, we are going to have our directed writing session first with me, and later we are going to continue with continuous writing with Mr. Mohana at 10:30. So in this 2 hour slot, I hope I can present whatever that I have prepared for you. And to all pupils out there, to all Form 5 students, some schools you have 30 and 40 and 20, some schools you have 80, 90, even more than 100. So please take this opportunity to really listen and learn. Now, this is definitely our new normal. We have never done this before in terms of giving a workshop online. All this while, as you know it, we've been bringing students to a venue every year, maybe 4 to 8 pupils for the workshop, and they go back to share whatever they get from the session. But now I think that more students can benefit from this. More can benefit from this, and I hope that you bear with me for 2 hours. And because we are doing this online and I'm not there physically with you, if you come across any problems at all, please seek your teacher's help. Yeah, your teachers are there with you, I believe. And please, you can ask them. All right. And throughout this course of presentation, this slot, this session, you will have things to do. And I hope you also have receive a module that I have prepared, the handouts, okay, the worksheets for today's slot, and I will I will go the module through with you, and we are going to see what is it that you need to work on, to enhance on when it comes to directed writing. Okay? Okay. Okay, Henry Ford says, before everything else, getting ready is the key to success. So this is what we are doing now. We are getting ready, all right? And we are looking at our SPM paper 1. Okay, of course, writing has been a problem to many learners, many pupils. And my task today is to deliver on directed writing. I believe that you already know what it is, how is it, how the paper is marked and all, and you know that DW is a guided composition, meaning to say, there are notes given. However, the pattern or the trend of SPM for the past few years, we can see that it is not totally guided, which means that you learners, you candidates, SPM candidates also have to provide ideas, suggestions, when required, where required, and when you are asked to do so. Okay. All right. So what am I going to do today? Now let's take a look. For today's workshop, I'll be looking at DW and I'm narrowing it to informal letter. Okay, letter writing, but informal letter. Why? After this, I'm going to show you, let's just take a look at the analysis of past year exam questions, especially for DW. And we know that the last time DW informal letter was tested in directed writing was like more than 5 years ago. Okay, I'm not saying that this is the spot question. No, not exactly. In fact, for exam, it is really not safe for you to do so. You have to be prepared for all types of essays, for all formats, that you have learned all these years. However, for this workshop, I would like to pay more attention to informal letter. Okay, and what am I going to do? Okay, now let's take a look at the screen in front of you. When it comes to writing essays, when it comes to writing directed writing or continuous writing, especially in directed writing, what will be important is the tone and style. Okay, so for this particular session, I'm going to look at the tone and style for letter writing. Because letter writing or informal letters are casual writings, they have the informal tone. So how do you go about it? We're going to look at it later. Next, I like to look at how you can create sentence variety and why is sentence variety important. Okay, we will look at it after this. And then I also like to look at the use of cohesive devices. Okay, the use of cohesive devices and how using cohesive devices help you in getting better scores or marks. And finally, of course, you will be attempting letter writing and informal letter writing later after we have looked at the tone and the style, right, creating sentence variety, and how do we use cohesive devices here. All right, so basically these are my lineup for our session, for our workshop today, and please give more attention to it so that you are able to write letters better. Okay. All right, now let's take a look at this analysis of directed writing for SPM, our English paper 1119 or paper 1. Okay, I prepared from the year 2010. Okay, so you can see from 2010 here we have informal letter, all right, followed by a talk in 2011, and then another informal letter in 2012. And after that, a formal letter. In fact, I think formal letter so far I've seen it was tested like was only once, yeah. And 2014 article, 15 speech, 2016 talk or speech, 2017 report, and report again is asked in year 2018, and last year 2019 it was article writing. Okay, so what's waiting for you in 2020? What's waiting for you? So that is why if we look at this pattern and this trend, we can see that informal letter has not been asked for quite a number of years. Yeah, last was in 2012. However, you have to prepare yourself for all possibilities. All right, we can see that in 2017, 2018, report writing was tested 2 years in a row. So it is not impossible for article again to be tested this year, or it could even be a speech or talk or even a formal letter. But for the purpose of this workshop, I would like to look at informal letter. In fact, informal letters pretty it is quite a favorite. Yeah, writing informal letter is a favorite kind of question in many tests. Okay, so you have to look at this. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, before this is in your handout, all right, my dear Form 5s, this is in your handout. Can you please take a look? I think it is on page 4, all right, because my presentation is arranged in such a manner for me to present to you, but please take a look at your handout, all right, and look at this page. I would like to talk about the writing tips first, to give you writing tips for informal letter. Okay, what must you do? The do's and the don'ts. Okay, are you ready? Now, I think many teachers will tell you this. For directed writing, the DW section, please do not spend so long. Don't write for an hour or more, okay? Because you have CW to work on. And you know that working on CW is even more challenging because there are no notes, no guide. You have to really brainstorm and you really have to lay out your writing on your own without any help, compared to DW where the notes are there. So please do spend about 45 minutes on this section. I know many teachers have advised their students on this, so you have to make sure that you follow this strictly. Yeah, the most would be 50 minutes. Please, no longer than that. Now, as in many exam questions, please read the question carefully. I want you to determine the format that you are required to write. Okay, so as I said, the question could come in the form of an article writing, report writing, or a speech, talk, informal letter. So when you read the question, please ask yourself, what am I supposed to write here? Okay, so for this session today, again, for this workshop, we are looking at informal letter. Okay, and you have to take note on all the content or bullet points or the stimulus given, yeah, because normally, now I'm talking about normal circumstances, for these past years, for DW, there will be 12 content points and they are all written in bullets, yeah, so you have to write on all of them. However, if let's say suddenly this year, SPM exam decides to take a different turn, because this is going to be the final year of our current format, yeah, next year is going to be CEFR aligned SPM examination, so everything is going to change. You are the last batch for this KBSM. Therefore, if let's say suddenly for DW you have 13 content points, 13 bullet points, don't be shocked, right? Whatever is in the question paper, read them carefully and use all the notes given. Use all the content or the bullet points given and understand the requirement of the question. Okay. And of course, you are not just supposed to write, or I would say on the content point or the bullet point alone. You also have to elaborate a little by adding some details, give reasons, opinions, or comments. Yeah. Not so, I would say not so much, but do elaborate a little. Okay, now for the smart tip number 5, using the KISS principle. It means keep it simple and short. This is advisable for students or of intermediate level, or those, having problems in writing longer structures or more complex sentence structures. However, for the purpose of this workshop, now in front of me, all of you, hundreds of you in front of me from the whole Kinta Utara district, this is an academic excellence workshop whereby I believe we teachers, we are pushing you, we are driving you forward to be getting excellent results, yeah, in our English paper. Of course, meaning to say scoring or getting an A minus or A or even an A plus. Therefore, using KISS principle here is, it has to be taken with a little pinch of salt, meaning to say you keep it simple and short in some areas. Okay, maybe in some other content points you would like to elaborate a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to show you later. All right, the last part of this. Okay, and finally for smart tip number 6, of course, as in any writing, you have to include an introduction and also an conclusion, and making sure the paragraphs are well organized. Yeah. All right, that is pretty general. Okay, and as we are talking about informal letter, I'm going to zoom. I'm going to zoom here. You will see it in your handout as well. All right. Okay, can you see now under general performance or according to levels? Now, what do I mean by this? Okay, what I have prepared here for you is, as I said earlier, you are our targeted A students, yeah, and we hope that you can really excel in writing your directed writing, continuous writing. Okay, so now I want to show you the difference, yeah. What for candidates who scored high marks, okay, what are the what do you call that, the criteria for candidates who score high marks? And these are taken from Lembaga Peperiksaan itself, yeah. And I will, from basing on this is why I prepared our module. Okay, so now let's take a look. Now, for you, if you wish to score high marks, yes, candidates who scored high marks in previous SPM examination, the criteria are, number 1, they are able to display good linguistic ability. Can you see that? Good linguistic ability. And they were able to address the task accurately and clearly. Meaning to say, you must really read the question, understand its requirement. Okay, and for you to make sure that you score good marks in language especially and in content point, you have to avoid making many grammatical errors. So for candidates who scored high marks in DW, generally, this is a general discussion, generally few grammatical mistakes were made, and we can see that there is a flair of language, meaning to say the way the essay, the directed writing is written is with a flair. All right, we can see the tone and style according to the task or the question asked. Vocabulary precise, varied. Now, this is why in my presentation today as well, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to look at sentence variety basing on this, yeah, because in order for candidates to score high marks, your sentence structure, your paragraphs, writing and all, it must be varied. It cannot be monotonous and boring. Now, what do I mean by those? I'll show you again after this. All right. Okay, let's go a little bit more. The writing was coherent. All right. Appropriate use of punctuation and paragraphing. Able to use cohesive and logical connectors to link sentences, especially in DW. Because in directed writing, it is more of a formatted type of essay. Article writing, informal letter, or a speech. So normally, in order for you to show the flow of ideas, your linkers, your use of cohesive devices, yeah, must be accurate and also of a variety. It's not the same thing. Next, then. All right. What are the normal ones that students like to use? Yeah. Um, other than that. So of course, you have to vary these linkers as well. All right, and finally, let's take a look at the last one here. Appropriate tone and style. Can you see here? Appropriate tone and style. Now, this is important because sometimes when you are writing an informal letter, for example, it could sound a little bit too formal, not chatty enough. So here, it defeats the purpose of writing an informal letter, which communicates what do you call that, ideas. It's a form of communication, between parents and children, friends, and all that. Okay, so I'm going to go down here. So to compare, okay, this is from our examination board, all right, the lembaga peperiksaan. So for students who scored high marks, generally this what happened in their writing, and those who actually had average performance, this is what happened. So for this workshop, I am stressing that avoid here so you can write better and score higher marks. In fact, in my opinion, for DW, because it is guided, there are notes given. You are supposed to score. It is like a chance for you to score better marks. It is for you to nail paper one. Okay, to help you with whatever problems or loopholes that you may have in CW, in continuous writing. Okay, so coming back here, candidates with average performance normally they showed understanding of the requirements of the task, means they're able to understand the task, no problem. But what made their marks lower or their score lower is the lack of linguistic ability to write effectively. Okay, so definitely you need a lot of practices. You need to practice because of course language, this is an English language paper. What is tested would be, other than content and all that, is the ability to deliver whatever you want to deliver, whatever you want to write. So here is linguistic ability. All right, and those who scored or those with average performance also normally were unable to sustain accuracy throughout. It's not accurate writing. You're not very accurate. All right, structures were often repetitive. So all these, if you see it in your handout, in your module, I bold all these sentences to show you what are the things that you need to do and not do. Okay, so for the first one here, all right, for the candidates who scored high marks, these are what you have to do. And to avoid scoring little lower or lesser, because we want to push you to excellence, so you need to really avoid whatever is said in here. Okay. Okay, ideas were developed but were at times disorganized. Okay, vocabulary was limited and sentence structures were often repetitive. We are really going to look at this one because if only you know what you have to tackle, then probably you can improve your writing. Okay, now let's take a look at the next one. Okay, so we have looked at I've shown you what I want to do in this session. I've shown you as well the analysis of the directed writing questions, okay? And we have talked about the writing tips. Now let's go into writing informal letter. Okay, now let's go into this, okay? All right, now let's take a look at what I have here. You have it in your handout as well, in your module. Let's take a look. When writing informal letters, you must know what is the purpose. Okay, so this is just a very warm-up activity for you, all right? So what is the purpose? So can you please tell me? We often write letters to your family and friends to keep in touch. So again, I say it is very informal, all right? We tell them things. So let's take a look at your handout and look at A, dear Mrs. Tan. You can see, right? Okay, so for the first one, A, what kind of letter is that? I mean, what is the letter going to say, you think? What is the purpose of letter A? Just write it down in your module, please. Write it down in your paper, before I show you the answers. What's the purpose of each of these letters? This is our warm-up activity for this morning. Write down the first one, A. Saying goodbye is tough, especially to a great teacher like you. Please keep in touch. So what is the purpose of letter A? Write it down. Okay, let's take a look at letter B. Thank you for your invitation. Dear Hakim, thank you for your invitation. I'm sorry to tell you I cannot come to your birthday party. So what is the purpose for this letter B, do you think? Write it down. Letter C, okay? Letter D and letter E. Please read them. I give you a few minutes and write down what is the purpose for each of these letters. Okay, that's pretty easy, right? Very simple. I'm sure all of you are in front of me are A students, no problem. Okay, so let's take a look. What are the answers for letter A? Let's take a look. So what is the purpose? Of course, to say farewell. Letter B, sorry, letter C here, condolence. Letter B, declining invitation. Letter E, saying thank you. And D is a congratulatory letter. All right. So this is just for you to see that there are many purposes, yeah. When it comes to letter writing, there are many things that you want to convey. So this is our warm-up activity for this morning. Did you get them right? I wish I can see you, but I can't. All right. Okay, so I hope that you got that right. Yeah, that's pretty easy actually. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so when it comes to looking at the purpose of this letter, why am I doing this? Because remember earlier I said when it comes to writing informal letters, you must get your tone right. Yeah, you have to get your tone right, the style of writing right. And that is why it is important for you to understand what question are you answering, what is the question addressing. Okay, so let's take a look at tone. What is tone and why is it important? Okay, you don't have this in your module, all right? So please take a look and you can also, write it down, jot it down as your part of your note taking, yeah? Part of your note taking. So what is tone? I know some teachers, when they say this, students may take it very lightly. They say, like, oh, whatever, I still write and write. You must understand that tone is the attitude or the emotion toward the subject and the reader. Okay, toward the subject means what is the content that you are writing. So the tone for just now when let's say we write a letter of condolence. So is it going to be a happy tone in your letter? Or is it going to be a sad tone? All right. And when you are declining invitation, when you want to tell someone you cannot go to the person's place, what kind of tone are you going to inject in that writing? Of course, it will show some kind of feeling of sorry, not being able to come. So tone here, okay, you have to play with the tone. And informal letter, you need this, yeah, because if not, it's going to be very monotonous and boring. So a writer's tone is important because it conveys a particular message, and it is also important to know that the tone affects your examiner, the reader who receives the message that you are trying to convey. Okay, so this is tone, yeah. Okay, so when you write informal letter, you have to remember that again, you are writing to close acquaintances. So you have to remember this, yeah, to close acquaintances, friends, family, relatives. So the tone is very personal. Yes, the tone is informal and personal. If you read in sample essays, they can be very chatty. You can inject some humor a little. I will show you this later, okay? And it is also using casual language when writing informal letters. Okay. All right. So this is again addressing some of the things that you have to remember when attempting informal letters. All right. You got this? I'm just looking at any questions that may arise at this time. I think no. Okay. Okay. If everything's all right, we have looked at what is tone, what are some of the things that you have to remember when writing informal letters. I've included in your module or in your handout as well some useful phrases when it comes to writing informal letter. Okay, this may seem to be easy, yeah? Please refer to this, everyone. Refer to this. Okay, please refer to this. Okay, this may look easy. In fact, yes, informal letter is not that very difficult. But how can we score good marks from writing the informal letter, it has to be interesting. All right, so you know that when it comes to writing a letter, you must have greeting. So you can see that there are many ways to start your greeting. Dear what, dear Ali, dear Adam, hello, hi. Okay, all these are accepted. Okay, and the introduction, there are many ways to introduce your letter, to start your letter writing. Okay, you can use any of these, or if some of you have some other ideas, then go ahead. But make sure, I really need to remind you this here. Introduction or your first paragraph is supposed to make a good impression. So do not make grammatical errors there. So I do advise, yeah, for exam purpose, try to memorize some good sentences or phrases like these, for example, so that it really helps you to write. Okay, minimize errors, especially in an opening paragraph, because you are making an impression. It is just like when you go and meet a person for the first time. So you have to be well dressed, you have to look very appealing. So it goes the same thing with your letters or your essay writing as well. Okay, especially the opening part. All right, so let it put at a very high bar where the examiner is going to be very happy reading your first paragraph. So you can start introducing in the introduction, yeah, by saying it's great to hear from you. Many thanks for your letter. Sorry it's taken me so long to write back, and all those. Okay, so please look at your own handout. You can read that, yeah. Okay, and then sometimes when we are writing a letter, we would like to refer to something that is written to us earlier. Do you understand? Because we are answering a question. So for example, you are given a letter. In the letter, the person has written to you asking for advice or telling you something bad happened to him or her. So now you are replying, writing back to give your response and feedback. So these are the phrases to use, okay, when you want to refer to the good or bad news. Okay, these are the phrases or the sentences to use to refer to the good and bad news. For example, glad to hear or to read about you have been so successful in whatever. I'm sorry to hear that your father passed away and all that. Okay, so these are some of the phrases. Again, I say if you need to memorize, then go ahead and memorize. Okay, so that you can remember them from time to time. Okay, I'm really glad. I'm very happy. I'm extremely proud of you. Okay, all these are possible. Yeah. Okay, now I also included in the some phrases that you can use when you want to move to another topic, when you want to move on. So this allows you to have a smooth transition of ideas. Okay, so your flow of ideas are better. All right, so when you want to move from saying one thing to another, you can use these phrases. By the way, have you heard about, right? Did you hear about? Tell me about. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention. All right, so you see that's quite casual, yeah? Oh, another thing I wanted to mention. All right, that's quite casual, and this is what is needed in informal letter writing. Again, the tone has to be personal. It has to be communicative. Okay? Okay. All right, so that those are the phrases, yeah, under moving the topic on. And of course, you will write all your content points, all right? You will write all your content points, and finally will come your ending, okay? The end of the letter. How do you end your letter? How do you end? Well, time to go, to close. Got to go now. I have to go now. I've got to leave off now. That's all for now. Looking forward to hearing from you and all those. Drop me a line if you have time. Write back soon. And can you see that here, my dear students? Can you see exclamation marks? All these are exclamation marks. Yeah. Now, can we use them? Yes, we can, because they are showing something. I will show you after this. So you can do this. All right. This also will show a more personal tone. Okay, take care of yourself, look after yourself. But of course, not everything is putting the exclamation mark. No, all right, not everything is exclamatory. No, okay. I hope teachers are there to explain more if your students ask, yeah, what is this teacher trying to say? Okay, all right, and finally, signing off. Finally, signing off. I even have my old students here in the chat, in the channel. Very good. Hi, Razin. Do you want to learn English more today? Okay. All right. So for the ending, sorry, for signing off, you can say yours, your friend, yours sincerely, best wishes, all the best, and all those. Yeah, you can use all of them. So basically, these useful phrases, you are going to use them when you write your letter, when you need to write from beginning till the end. So you can choose some of them and try to put them in. But if you have your own sentences, your own phrases which are good, by all means, go ahead and use them. All right. I give you 1 minute to digest all this. Just take a look again. All right, just take a look. Okay. Moving on. Okay, so we have earlier we talked about tone, and also I said about sentence variety. Yes? Okay. I talk about sentence variety. I say you must be able to create a sentence variety in order to make your writing more interesting and to score better marks. Yeah. So this brings me to the next discussion, which is how to improve sentence variety. What is sentence variety in the first place? Okay, now sentence variety means it is the practice of varying. Varying here means trying to write in different line and structure of using different structure of sentences. Why? To avoid monotony, so that your writing is not monotonous and boring. And also it is important to provide emphasis, yeah, appropriate emphasis. Okay, can you see here? Okay, what do I mean by this? Now I'm going to show you in this video. So please watch carefully, take down some notes as I explain them. All right, you're going to watch a video and this explains what sentence variety means. Okay, let's start. Okay, hold on, yeah. I'm trying to work on the video. Okay. Okay, let's watch this, yeah. You will be looking at 5 sentences. Oh no. Okay, now let's take a look. The fox was out trying to find food. The fox heard a mouse in the snow. She dived into the snow after the mouse. The mouse escaped from the fox. The fox's head was stuck in the snow. 5 sentences about a fox. What do you think? What is wrong with it? Yes, it has the same rhythm, same words. What are the words? Fox and mouse. And of the same line. So there's no variety in these sentences. Yeah. So they are boring and monotonous. So how do we improve on this? Now let's take a look. Tip number 1 is combine sentences that use the same words. So for example, the word fox is being used in 2 sentences. You can say the fox was out trying to find food and heard a mouse in the snow. When you combine these 2 sentences, you are using a conjunction and this becomes a compound sentence. So it's varied. Let's take a look at the next one. What's wrong with this? The word mouse is used in the first sentence and in the second sentence. So we can use a conjunction but, all right, to make an emphasis. She dived into the snow after the mouse, but the mouse escaped from the fox. Now, can you see that there is a difference in line? Okay. Tip number 2 is use transitional words or linkers or cohesive devices. Okay, let's take a look at that sentence. Yeah. She dived into the snow after the mouse, but the mouse escaped from the fox. How can we improve this? By using a transitional word such as suddenly. So when you put suddenly in front, the fox dived into the snow after the mouse, but the mouse escaped from the fox. It makes a better emphasis. And then you use another linker. Then the fox head was stuck in the snow. Now let's take a look at these 5, let's take a look at these 5 sentences again. Okay. Okay, so when we look at these sentences again, you can see that now it is more interesting. Okay, and we are using two tips here. What is the first tip? Combine, yeah, combine two sentences instead of writing two sentences with the same words, and also using a transitional word or a linker or a cohesive device. So here, this is more interesting, and you can see that the sentences are varied. So this is sentence variety, which you need practice. Okay, students, you need to practice this in order for you to write better. All right, so again, I'll show you this one. Earlier, when we look at these 5 sentences, they have the same rhythm, they have the same words. The word mouse and fox are repeated, yeah, in a few times, and they have the same line. So just when we vary the sentences, you can see that these sentences become more interesting and no more, it's not monotonous anymore. All right. Okay, so now it is your turn to try. Okay, your turn to try. Probably you will take some time to do this. No problem. We have 1 hour and a half to go through. Okay, let's take a look. This is in your handout. Okay, this is in your handout. How to improve sentence variety. Now I give you 2 paragraphs. Okay, let's take a look at this. The best way to keep your writing interesting is to vary the sentence types, just like how I showed you earlier, using the fox and the mouse story as example. All right. But of course, you don't do it throughout your writing. You are selective. There are parts of it where we vary our sentences. There are some sentences where maybe we just write very simple. Some sentences we combine. Some we write them in a complex way. Okay, so you can ask your teachers more about this as well. Okay, so how do you do it? Now let's take a look at these 2 paragraphs, paragraph 1 and paragraph 2. You see the space provided. Your job now is, okay, to write what do you think of each of these paragraphs. What do you think of them? Okay, I'm not asking you to rewrite. No, I'm not asking you to rewrite. I'm asking you to tell me, write down in a few sentences, what do you think of paragraph 1 and what do you think of paragraph 2? Okay, I think that's quite simple for you to do. All right, maybe I can give you about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, yeah? Okay, let's start. Come on, write down. What do you think? And I know you are sitting, I would say a little distance away from your friends next to you, but you can speak to them, right? You can sort of like throw your voice. So you can discuss. You can ask your friend, what do you think? Okay, so keep it a little bit of a discussion so that it is not so boring and you are falling asleep there while I'm here behind the screen, not even seeing my audience live. Okay? If I'm there, definitely I'll be walking around and looking at you, but I'm here. So I hope that you attempt this. You can also discuss with a friend next to you. Just make sure you keep the social or the physical distance. Okay, start doing. Are you good? Okay, this is the second paragraph. Okay, how are you doing? Okay? Still writing? Are you still writing? Okay, I think that should be enough time, okay, given to you to work on these two paragraphs. All right, so now let's take a look at your answers. Okay, teachers, if you are there supervising your students, go around, look at their responses. Yeah, what do they think of paragraph 1 and paragraph 2? And I will show you what do I think. Now let's take a look at this. Okay, paragraph 1. Now let's take a look. Keeping things cool is one of the best inventions of this century. Air conditioners keep houses cool and so on and so forth. All right, you can see there is a repetition of word, okay, very often, which is the word cool. All right, and the sentences are also like a bit choppy. Yeah, one, simple sentences. So what do I think of this paragraph? This paragraph only uses simple sentences. Just simple sentences. You can see in the first in the second line, third line, temperature controls keep cars cool. That's all. Okay, so it is monotonous to read, boring, and it also failed to give the reader clues about what is important in that paragraph. What is important? Because there's no emphasis. Yeah, you do not use cohesive devices, for example, words that really highlight that this is important and all. All right, so in order to fix this paragraph, writer needs to determine which ideas are the main idea, which is the one that giving main ideas, and which one is simply providing examples. Okay, so that the writer is able to create variety and emphasize key ideas. You can copy this one, yes, students, yeah, you can copy the response at the bottom so that you know what is wrong with that paragraph. So when you write your own essay, when you do paragraph writing, you can avoid these things. All right. Definitely, they are all simple sentences, okay, and there is a failure to give emphasis on what is important or which is the main idea. This is for paragraph 1. Okay, what about paragraph 2? Now let's take a look. All right, paragraph 2. What do you think of this paragraph? What do you think? Is this better written compared to the first one? Is this better? Yes. Okay, why? Because this paragraph, it has taken all the ideas from the earlier one, from paragraph 1, and they are written in a way where the order of importance is ranked. You can see which is important, which is not important from the write-up, okay, compared to the first paragraph. All right, the ability to keep things cool, which is the ability to keep things cool is more important than the examples of inventions. All right, maybe you need to read this a few times, yeah, to understand what I'm trying to say. Again, I'm not directly in front of you to really explain, yeah. Okay, let's take a look at this one, yeah. The sentence types have also been varied. The first sentence is a simple sentence. Okay, which is a simple sentence? The first one, the ability to control temperature is one of the best inventions of this century. Simple sentence, directly stating the topic of the entire paragraph, meaning to say this is what the paragraph is all about. Okay, And because it has a single idea, it stands out from the other sentences. Okay, I'm sorry, I think something chops off there. All right. So basically, we are looking at this is what you can see the sentence variety in the second paragraph compared to the first paragraph. Yeah. Okay, so this is the difference of paragraph 1 and paragraph 2. I do wonder what did you all write in your own responses in the space provided. If you have almost the same ideas, then you are on the right track. Okay, I think that many of you can see, right? The earlier paragraph, this one is very simple, it's very, it's boring, it's monotonous compared to the second one, which has, this one has more emphasis. Why? Now let's take a look. Why does it have more emphasis? Look at the use of word at first. So this is a linker, a transitional marker, at first, however, all right? Okay, so this helps to sort of like move the ideas instead of making it very choppy like the earlier paragraph. Okay? Okay, let's move on. You won't have this in your module. Okay, I did not include it in. So probably you would like to take note. Yeah, you would like to take down some notes of what I have here on my slides. Okay, let's take a look here. So just now we talk about using variety in sentences, means you have to vary your sentences. And now I am also showing you that sentences can function differently, and it is good to use this type of sentences to make sure that you are able to vary your sentences. You get what I mean? Meaning to say, when you write a sentence in a form of a statement, you see the one in green here, in a form of a statement or question or command or exclamation, it gives different meaning or emphasis. So if you remember earlier when we look at useful phrases here. Okay, this one, the useful phrases earlier, where I pointed out to you that some of the phrases they use exclamation marks, right? So that is because the sentence functions to show an exclamation. All right, and certain sentences, they show a statement or a question or a command. This is another way to vary your sentences, because in today's workshop, I'm really focusing on sentence variety, because in DW, because all the notes are given, you are guided, you have all the content points, you must make sure that your essay or your write-up is interesting. Okay, if not, it's going to be very boring. And as you know, these types of essay in directed writing, they have their own tone and format, so you need all this to sort of like highlight your write-up. Okay, now what types of sentence functions are there? What types of sentence functions are there? Let's take a look at the first one. We have here declarative sentence. Okay, so this is like making a statement, declarative, making a statement. All right, states a fact. The bracelet was made of silver. After having a cold, Emily had a lot of work to catch up on. So this is writing it as a statement. Now, interrogative, okay, interrogative sentence is actually a question, meaning to say you are writing the sentence in a form of a question. And this also creates a variation in your write-up and also making your essay more interesting. All right, so you can write a sentence in a form of a question. Let's take a look at this. For example, how long is it until football season starts? Are you really going to wear that to the party tonight? Let's say you're writing an informal letter, okay, informal letter. You are talking about something, so you're writing a question. So it's not just statement. For example, a pretty monotonous one would be like, okay, firstly, you have to do this, next this, don't forget to, and all that. So include a sentence which comes in a form of a question so that your paragraph writing is more interesting, thus giving you, maybe awarding you better marks. Okay, because it makes more impression. Okay, next one is imperative sentence. Imperative here means command, giving a command. All right, issues a command. Yeah, stand up straight. You see that exclamation? Don't even think about playing baseball in the house. There should be an exclamatory mark there. All right. So these are like giving instructions, orders, issuing command. So you can write that even in your informal letter. Let's say you are giving an advice to your cousin or brother in that letter. So in that advice, you are like being very stern. Okay, you are saying, okay, do this, do that, do this. So write it in a form of in a form of a command. Instead of just a statement, you should do this. Do not forget to do this. For example, yeah. So this is again how sentences function. And I'm showing you four types of ways they can function. Again, statement, question, command, and also exclamation. Okay, so exclamatory. What is an exclamatory? Meaning it expresses strong emotion. For example, the church is beautiful. All right. That is fantastic. Okay, so strong emotion. And remember, informal letter writing is very personal, so you can express your emotion there as well by using this type of sentence, which is exclamation or exclamatory sentences. All right, so take a look again at all these four. You don't have this in your module or in your handouts. You probably would like to write down some of them. Okay, so I'm going to recap. Okay, I'm going to recap. Earlier, we talked about sentence variation, yes or no. We talked about using different types of sentences, simple, compound, complex, and also using cohesive devices and linkers to join some sentences to avoid monotony. Now we are looking at how different sentences function, and these sentences can act in four different ways: statement, question, command, and exclamation. All right. So these, because you are going to do a practice after this, yeah. So please understand this one first, and later you can use it in our practice right after this. Basically now, okay. All right. Okay, now let's take a look. Now this is your time. This is your turn. I want you. This is sentence variety writing challenge. You all teenagers, you write challenges so much, right? This challenge, that challenge. I have a challenge for you as well. Okay. So my dear pupils, how many ways can you rewrite, expand, reorder, reword these 10 boring sentences? Okay, so this is your challenge. I give you the first one as an example. The sky is blue. A simple sentence, but you can write it using a different number of sentence variety. You remember command, exclamation, statement, and also joining some ideas. So the sky is blue is so simple. You can expand it a little by writing such as this. Blue skies like these make my day. There isn't a cloud in the sky. It's a clear day. Yeah, if the sky is blue, it's a clear day. You won't get a finer day than today. And all this, if you notice, they have a more personal tone and they are so suitable for informal letters. Yeah. All right. Now it's your turn. Please try. Teachers, help me to monitor and supervise your students. How can you write for number 2, 3, 4, 5 until 10? But we don't have time for all. Can you just do for number 2, number 3? Number 2 and number 3, please. Okay, I give you a few minutes, yeah, to work on this. Okay. Okay, let's work on this, my dear students. What a fine day. So how would you like to write another sentence using this? Let's just work on number 2 and number 3. Right, not one, maybe 2 or 3 sentences, yeah, to look at it. Okay, are you done? All right. So, how do you sort of like make this, vary this sentence? What a fine day. What are you going to say? Have you written 1 or 2 sentences? Okay, I will go with this probably. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah. Right. Okay, what a fine day. The day is simply gorgeous, maybe. Okay, what else do you have in mind? Okay, maybe another one would be, today is going to be a blast. Okay, today is going to be a blast. What a fine day. Today is going to be a blast. Putting an emphasis. All right. So this is like my example. Yeah. Probably you have better. Probably you have something else because I can't actually see it. All right. If those who are using own gadget or device, you can write them in our chat box maybe. Then maybe you can share your answers, your sentences with others. Yeah. Now, the next one, I am sick. Okay, I am sick. It's very common, very normal how you say you are sick. So how can you write this in a form of a question? Maybe how do you write it in the form of a question, for example? All right, now let's take a look at this. This is a little bit dramatic, yeah, a little bit dramatic, drama queen, I would say. I am sick, very simple. I'm sick, teacher. I'm sick. So you want to be a little bit drama queen. Am I ever going to feel better? Okay, probably. So this is in a form of a question. So again, you have varied your sentences. In a paragraph, there you are writing, different varieties. Okay. And the next one, maybe I would like to say something like this. I have never felt so ill before in my life. Again, yeah, very dramatic here, very drama queen, I would say. I've never felt so ill before in my life. Okay, so instead, I'm sick. When we are writing, my dear pupils, yeah, sometimes you need short sentences. For example, like this one, I am sick. It makes an emphasis as well. But again, I am sort of like going to recap what I said earlier. In one whole paragraph, make sure there is a variety. So again and again, I'm saying this, especially in directed writing, because we are given notes and guides. So you have to make sure that you are giving an interesting way of conveying a message. All right, of conveying your write up. Okay. All right. So that's example. Two examples. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm receiving messages now telling me to slow down. I probably am going a bit too fast. I really apologize because I'm here alone and I cannot see my audience. I do not know whether you are, having a hard time, struggling or not. Thank you so much, teachers, Mohana, Cikgu Azmin, for telling me that I need to slow down. All right. I try to speak slower, so please, if I go faster again, because I have a lot to deliver and I only have 2 hours. So you know how that feels, right? Okay, so I'm very sorry, my dear students, Form 5, the Kinta Utara, if I've gone a bit too fast. But don't worry, because this is on YouTube. It's going to stay. If let's say you are not able to catch or you are not able to understand what I said, then when you get back home later today, go on this channel again, come back to this video and watch again and again and again and again until you really make sense, you really understand what I'm saying. All right. Thank you very much, teachers, for telling me. I am receiving a number of messages from friends telling me to slow down a little. Okay. Uh, this happens because I am here and you are there. I don't see my audience. All right, I am not going to do for the rest of this activity until number 10. Yeah, I really want to go into, real informal letter writing after this. So I'm just doing 2 examples only. And I think by now, you, my dear students, are able to understand what I want. So this is a writing challenge, sentence variety writing challenge. I want you to reorder, expand, reword, rewrite these 10 sentences using the ideas I gave earlier, using the varieties, by combining them, by using the sentence, the four different sentence function. Remember what are they? I just go up a bit. Okay, so meaning to say, when you attempt that task, I want you to reword them in the form of a statement, a question, a command, or an exclamation. All right, so this one I leave it to you and your teachers. You can work on this later, maybe in the next lesson in your own English class, and show your teachers, because I want to move on to another section. All right, it is already 9 o'clock, 9:05, and I have less than an hour to complete this. As I said, I do have a lot of things that I think they are important for me to share with you. But don't worry, I try to slow down a little now. Okay, I'm slowing down. Again, I apologize to all my darlings out there. Sorry for going a little bit too fast. Okay. Okay, next. I want to look at cohesive devices. Okay, I want to look at cohesive devices. Okay, remember earlier of this workshop, I told you that using cohesive devices is very important. Do you remember the example I gave on the fox and the mouse? Right? Remember or not how we repeated the word fox again? First sentence fox, second sentence fox, third sentence mouse and mouse. So it is good to also use the one conjunction, and but, and also cohesive devices here would be using words to emphasize, especially at the beginning of a sentence. Suddenly, then, next. And if you look in your module, all right, if you look into the handouts that I have given, I gave you a list, okay, for you to go through, actually, for you to honestly memorize, if you can, some of them. All right, not all, but some of them that you think you can use them in your writing. Because cohesive devices or linkers, some also call this as transitional markers, they function differently. Okay, for example, now let's take a look at the first one. They function differently. For example, Okay, addition. These are the linkers. These are the words you use to write when you want to add up an idea. Add up an idea. So for example, you want to say, um, furthermore, in addition to whatever, next, moreover, even the word and, also, again, all these are showing addition, yeah, addition. All right. They can be used in the middle of a sentence, but then most of the time we use them at the beginning of a sentence. Okay, comparison. When you write directed writing, especially, I would say that it requires, sometimes questions do require you to compare. Compare A and B, make a choice. All right, we have that in our previous SPM questions. Okay, so you are required to compare, so you need these phrases: compared with, in comparison with, in the same way or manner, similarly, likewise, again, also. All right, so these are some of the words or phrases to use when you do comparison. Contrast. Now, comparing and contrasting are actually two different things. So these are the words that I have included in the list, how you want to use them when you want to contrast. Okay, besides. Okay, let's say you're talking about one idea, something, and then you want to say in contrast to it, yeah, besides. Okay, all right. However, in contrast, instead, okay, likewise. Okay, there's so many. So again, when you write, vary your choice of cohesive devices. Don't use the same thing. Besides, throughout the essay. Besides, next, then. All right, there's so many. But you need practice, meaning to say, you have to know what this means. Alternatively, what is that? It means another idea, a different idea. All right, so if you know what it means, then you're able to use them correctly. Right, and because again, this is a workshop for excellent students, you all are excellent in front of me, and we pray that you are able to nail the A that you want, all right, and score the highest marks and grade for yourself. So, varying all these cohesive devices will be a good point to ponder. Okay, that we have here enumeration. This is especially when you are writing about a process, firstly, secondly, next, and all that. Okay, concession. Okay, although it is true that, okay, exemplification, showing example. This is showing example, and this is all in your handout, yeah? So normally students like to write, for example. For example, please have a variety. You can write, for instance. You can use to illustrate my point. That means to give an example, to show that, such as, okay, let us take the case of. This is also showing example. Let us take the case of what and what. Okay, so again, there are many, yeah. Inference, to make inference. Okay, some of you are science students, that you would know what inferencing is. Okay, and when you want to write the summary or making a conclusion at the bottom. Okay, so in conclusion, in short, on the whole, to sum up, in brief, and all that. Okay, so this one I just wanted to go through with you. Okay, I just wanted to go through with you to show you that there are a number of different cohesive devices. Okay, if you look at the next page, I think there's another one on the other page. When you talk about time and sequence, okay, this is what you can use. Results, yeah, okay. So when you write later or when you attempt directed writing, you can really try to use all these devices, these linkers. Okay. Okay, shall we move on? Let's go to the next one. This is where the major part of this workshop is actually about. Now we are coming to the actual task, which is writing the letter, the informal letter. Okay, the informal letter writing. Okay, I'm going to zoom for you. But you have this in your module, right? You have this in your handout. Okay, I'm going to zoom for you so that you can see it. Okay, my dear people, so this comes in your paper 1 of your SPM paper, and we know that directed writing takes 35 marks. Yeah, this is the marks allocated for directed writing, and from these 35 marks, content marks would be 15. Okay, content marks would be 15, and 20 marks go to your language. Yeah, 20 marks they goes to your language. So meaning to say, you have to really write linguistically well. That you have to demonstrate your linguistic ability when you are writing. Okay. Okay, I hope I am slow enough. I really hope so. So I'm giving you one example. So this is one question that we're going to look at. Okay, your younger brother has just started studying in a university. He has asked you for some advice. All right, interesting. Using the information below, write a letter to him to show some tips on how to cope with university life. All right, so this is very relevant to many of you because after Form 5s, many of you are going to college, you know, matriculation, university and all. So this is very relevant to you, yeah? And can you see that the word letter is bold? Yeah, it is being bold to emphasize that you need to write a letter. And definitely in this case, it is going to be an informal letter. Okay? All right, let's take a look at this letter first. What are the content points? Okay, so these are some of the tips that you're supposed to share with your younger brother. Number one, he says financial management. So under financial management, you are supposed to give an advice about to prepare a budget. Prepare a budget and then followed by giving one more suggestion. This one you have to give. What is it? Under financial management, prepare budget and one more, your own idea. Okay? Next one is under time management. Okay, so meaning to say you also have to advise your brother, you have to give it some tip about time management. The tip is about being organized, be organized and give one more idea. Okay, another one is studies related to academic. All right, so being in a university, you also have to, of course, look after your academic, your studies. So what must you do? The word here is only independent. What does it mean? As a university student, you have to be independent. How to be independent? All right, and you have to give one more suggestion. And finally, under the last content point of stress management, you are supposed to give a suggestion about doing recreational activities and provide one more of your own idea. Give one more suggestion. So altogether, you have 4 suggestions to make here. All right. And altogether here, there are 12 content points. You have to mention. Okay, let me really emphasize this. This is directed writing. You have to write on all the content points given in the question. So in this case, there are 4 main bullet points: financial management, time management, studies, stress management. And under every main bullet point, you have the sub point, right? Yes or no? Okay, you have to write on all this, yeah? Please make sure all are written so that you can get the maximum 12 marks for content and another 3 marks for format. So if I scroll a little bit more down, look at the instruction here. When writing your letter, you must remember to lay out your letter correctly. You have to make sure you have an address, greeting and closing. Here, you'll be getting 1 mark, F1, format 1 mark. Here, another format 1 mark, and here another format 1 mark for closing. Okay, use all the notes given. So this is super important, all right? And when writing the letter, you must, oh sorry, this is repeated, yeah? This is repeated. I'm very sorry, it's the same thing actually. Okay, so for your letter, you receive up to 15 marks for the format and content points and up to 20 marks for the quality of the writing. So this is our task for the rest of this session. Until 10 o'clock, we're going to look at this. Because now is the time where you are going to blend in. Use the information I have shared with you earlier about sentence variety, about cohesive writing, what are the cohesive devices to use, and use it in writing the paragraphs here. Okay, so let's do this step by step. Okay, now it's 9:15. I'm going to give you about 15 to 20 minutes to work on this, yeah, before we start our discussion. Now let's take a look at the next the next page of your handout. So what I want you to do now is, please write for me, okay, write in your handout the introduction. So this is a letter. How are you going to start the introduction of the letter? Okay, what are you going to write? You can go back, flip through your handouts, your module, go to the useful phrases and look at some of the useful phrases that you would like to use here. So try writing now in the introduction. Okay, here, write it here. Next, for this paragraph, I want you to use to write on content 1, 2, and 3, which are financial management, prepare budget, and give one more suggestion. I would like to know what would you like to suggest, okay, under the heading of financial management. So you have to think about it, all right? Okay, normally when we answer directed writing, okay, many teachers normally give this advice. It is a good advice, all right, and I think by now many of you know it already. You have to um, make use of the 5 wife and 1 husband, the 5 W's and 1 H questioning. You ask yourself how to elaborate this, yeah? So, for example, the first content point, financial management, you have to give one more suggestion. So, ask yourself the why, the what, okay, the how, where, when. All this should help you in your elaboration. I am not focusing on those questioning techniques for this session because I think that that is commonly addressed, yeah, by many teachers. That's why I'm looking today at sentence variety, at how to vary your sentences, especially in your paragraph writing. Okay, so let's try now, people. I give you about 15 to 20 minutes. At least I want you to be able to write this, the introduction, write a paragraph on this, financial management, prepare a budget, and time management. I don't think we have the time to really go through everything. However, you can do this later with your own teacher, okay, with your own English teacher. So again, write on the introduction, on the financial management, time management, at least the first page. Now, to those who work very fast, some of you, you are all excellent students, right? Some of you can work really fast, then go ahead and proceed to the next one. Just try and do as much as you can in the time that I'm going to give you, about 15 to 20 minutes. All right, come on, let's do this. Okay, let's start. Teachers, please help me monitor your students. And as you're working on this task, I do allow you, yeah, because you can discuss with your friends. Just make sure you are talking or you are discussing from a distance, all right? No problem. Do not be too quiet there, please. I'm alone here. It's very quiet now, all right? Okay, enjoy writing.
loving and fighting, accusing, denying. I can't imagine a world with you gone. The joy and the chaos, the demons were made up. I'd be so lost if you left me alone. You locked yourself in the bathroom, lying on the floor when I break through. I pull you in to feel your heartbeat. Can you hear me screaming, please don't leave me? Hold on, I still want you. Come back, I still need you. Let me take your hand, I'll make you right. I swear to love you all my life. Hold on, I still need you. Long endless highway, you're silent beside me. Driving a nightmare I can't escape from. Helplessly praying, the light isn't fading. Hiding the shock and the chill in my bones. They took you away on the table. I pace back and forth as you lay still. They pull you in to feel your heartbeat. Can you hear me screaming, please don't leave me? Hold on, I still want you.
Okay, hello everyone. How are you doing? I think it has been 25 minutes, yeah. I wonder if you have finished what you are supposed to write by now. Okay, all right. Okay, can you all hear me? Can I please get feedback? Can you hear me? Let's come back to our discussion. Okay. Okay, I'm waiting for you to give me a feedback, especially from the teachers, if you can hear me, because it has been some time. You know, when it comes to technicalities, a lot of things can happen. Okay. Okay, I'm back here. Okay, yes, please proceed. Thank you, Izaim. All right. Okay, so I'm going to proceed. Okay, my dear students, I hope you have finished writing at least the introduction, content point 1 until content point 6, yeah, at least on two ideas of financial management and time management. All right, because I would like to discuss at least a few paragraphs with you before we end. I want to highlight a few important aspects of writing this informal letter. Okay, are you ready? I hope you are. Even if you have not finished writing, never mind. Just stop whatever you're doing now and listen. Now let's take a look at this sample essay, this page. Okay, you have it in your handout, right? You have it in your handout. Okay, I don't, some of you are in a big hall, some of you are in classes, some of you are in labs. So I apologize if, let's say, some of you are not able to see the screen well, but do not worry, because this is YouTube videos, yeah? It will remain here on this YouTube on my channel. So my advice to all students, yeah, to all Form 5s in Kinta Utara, when you get back home later, today itself, please log in again and go and watch this video again, because if in class now you may not be able to assess something, you may not be able to hear me well, for example. I hope that when you're on your own device, looking at your own laptops or handphone, then you can understand better. All right, so I really I cannot help it if, let's say, my projection on the slide on the screen is a little bit small, especially if you are in a big hall. So please refer to the handout, to your handout, the last one. Now we are going to the final stage where we are going to discuss how this letter writing can be attempted. Okay? All right. Okay, now let's take a look. Okay, basically, you know that in this letter, you have to write the greetings, oh, sorry, the address, all right, the address, the greeting, because there are 3 marks per format that you have to include in, yeah? You have to make sure that you write your address, greeting, and closing. So make sure there is an address, there is a greeting, dear Adam, hi, how are you? And also there is a closing. Okay, so now let's take a look at this discussion now. Okay, look at your module, yeah, if you cannot see the screen. Let's take a look at the introduction first, the introductory paragraph. Okay, let's take a look at the introductory paragraph. I start with, Dear Adam. Okay, Dear Adam, hi, how are you? So that is a greeting. Okay, I'm sorry it took me a while to write back to you. Now that is a simple sentence. Okay, I'm sorry it took me a while to write back to you. And Adam here is my younger brother. I've been really busy recently as being in the final year is wearing me out. Okay, this wearing me out, okay, I'm highlighting here, is a use of an idiom. I've been really busy recently as being in the final year is wearing me out. So instead of saying, all right, instead of saying, I'm very tired, okay, or I am so busy, it's so simple, right? So can you see that this whole sentence is also embedded, included in with a use of an idiom. I've been really busy recently as being in the final year is wearing me out. Okay, let's take a look at the next sentence. Also another idiom. I've been up to my eyes writing dissertation and preparing for exams. Now what I want to sort of like show you is many of you like to many of you like to, so hold on, yeah, I need to look at something. Many of you like to use the word burning midnight oil, the phrase, yeah, that's an idiom, burning midnight oil. However, that one is pretty common, and I can see many students from primary, even lower secondary, use that phrase often. So let's take a look at this. I've been up to my eyes writing dissertation and preparing for exams. So up to my eyes is another use of an idiom. Okay. So even in an introduction, I want to catch the reader's interest to read more. And remember, this is an informal letter, meaning to say it's going to have a personal tone, and it's going to be, this is my brother. So, you know, things are going to be a little bit light because you are writing and talking to your brother. Okay, let's take a look at the next sentence. Enough about me. A simple sentence. Okay, enough about me. Can you see the variation in the sentences? I have longer sentences earlier, and this one just 3 words. Enough about me. I can't believe my little brother is in the university already! Exclamation. So another sentence function. Okay, I'm writing to my little brother. I can't believe studying in the university already. Okay, while I am in the final year. So you see, even the first few sentences in this opening is not boring, eye-catching, use of idioms, and with a variety of use of sentences. Okay, so I go to, so how's it going? Very light mood. So how's it going? You know, you're talking to your brother. It's not formal. From what you have told me, I can see that things may have begun to get overwhelming, even though your term has just started. Okay? Don't you worry, little brother. I'm here to offer advice and share with you some tips on how to cope with university life. Okay, compare this to what you have written. Okay, I know I have many good students out there in Kinta Utara. So probably some of you are writing good opening as well. But take a look at mine, at this one. What do you see? Okay, you see a variety of sentences, even in the opening. You see some use of idioms. You can also see a variety in line in terms of sentences, some longer ones, some shorter ones. All right, exclamation is there. So there is a sentence variety here. Take a look. Now I'm going on to the next content point, yeah, which is under financial management. Okay, so under financial management, okay, let's take a look how I use the word financial management. Now, honestly, when it comes to directed writing, I honestly advise you to use the phrase as in the question first. However, just now I got a question here. Yeah, can you change it financial management to manage your financial? Honestly, it can be taken as a content point because it is correctly used. No problem. Examiners will still give you a mark for that. However, from my point of view, I still like to first use the phrases as in from the question, because this is where the exam, the question is testing you students whether or not you're able to use the phrase given. So let's take a look at what I have written here. The good thing about university life is that you are left to your own devices, unlike school, where you're told what to do and how to do. Let's take a look at this sentence. This is not a simple sentence. What is it? I leave you a question. I want you to find out. Ask your teacher, is the first sentence in the second paragraph a simple, definitely not a simple, a compound or a complex sentence? Please find out. Ask your teacher, or you can even Google later, find out yourself and discuss with your friends. And I would like to have my word choice to be of a variation as well. So here, however, I really need to remind you to be prudent over your finances. Okay, be prudent over your finances. I am making an emphasis. I am making my word choice to be outstanding, telling my brother that, okay, you can do whatever you want in a university, but remember, please make sure you manage your financial management has to be good. Okay, so this is where I use the word financial management. All right. Financial management is crucial now that you are left to fend yourself in making decision over your spending and budgeting. Okay, so this is where I use it. So I'm going to get a C1 here. C1, yeah, C1, the use of financial management. Next, you have no idea how tempting it can be to finally be able to splurge on what you desire, but you know your allowances come from mom and dad. Hence, you will be troubling them if you keep running short. Okay, what kind of sentence is that? You tell me. So there are a few ideas in that sentence. I know some students may not be able to handle complex sentences or very long sentences. So if you can't, then don't. Stick to one or two ideas in a sentence. But if you can, by all means, because this is another variation, a variety of sentences. Okay? And another idiom here. All right, please prepare a budget and plan your expenditure wisely, as the living expenses in the university can cost you an arm and a leg. You see? So we already come across about 3 use of idioms, yeah? Cost you an arm and a leg. Have you applied for scholarship? Now, my sentence comes in a form of question. Now I have a question here. All right, instead of just statement, I have question. Let's take a look at the next sentence. I think you should. I think you should. Simple, short, 4 words. All right. On top of that, try your best to not borrow money from friends, or worse, loan sharks. You're talking to your brother. You're telling him, don't borrow money from people. Don't borrow money from loan sharks. So this is a command. So in second paragraph, I have sentences in a form of question. I have in a form of commands. I have use of idiom. All right. And of course, some word choices are a little bit more advanced. So this will definitely color your writing, your essay. All right. Of course, you need to do a lot of practices to be able to write well, to be able to express yourself more in writing. And look at the next one, this final sentence. Don't come to me for money as well, because I'm saving up for my internship. So this is more personal. The tone is, don't, you're telling everybody, don't come to me and borrow money from me, all right? Because I'm saving up. Okay? So, and I like to ask you, in this financial management, the second one is plan budget. Do we have that written? Yes, prepare a budget, plan your expenditure. So what is the one added suggestion here? What do you think? What is the one added suggestion? Okay, you have written financial management. We have written prepare a budget as in the question. What is the one suggestion that comes from your own as in from this paragraph? Okay, so we have here prepare a budget. It could be, this one could be a suggestion, plan your expenditure wisely. Okay, here is another idea. Have you applied for scholarship, or do not borrow money? Actually, there are more ideas here, more suggestions, but it could be one of them. It could be do not borrow money from friends or loan sharks. So all this comes under financial management. So in one paragraph, I have written all the 3 content points, I have added in variety or colors to the writing by varying the sentence structure, all right, writing them in a form of question, writing them in a form of a statement, exclamation, and even giving commands. Do you see that now? How it is supposed to be done? For directed writing, DW. Okay, let's go to the next one. Because I'm only discussing two main ideas, yeah. What do you call that? Financial management and time management. Okay, let's take a look at this paragraph, my dear students. Okay, next, do remember that next. Okay, I have a cohesive devices. I have a cohesive device. There is a linker there. Next, a simple one. Do remember that the main reason for going to university is to get an academic qualification. But personally, I think that the social side of things and developing as a person are equally important. Okay, this is a longer sentence, definitely not a simple sentence. All right, this is a compound, complex, and not many students, not many learners or candidates can manage. So again, if you can't, don't. You can break those sentences, those ideas, even into two sentences, for example, but not all the time simple. Yeah, not all the time. For example, one sentence, one sentence. Include in linkers, include in conjunctions. Okay, let's take a look at this. I think that the social side of things and developing, thus having a good time management. Now I'm using my content point 4, C4. Having a good time management is important. Okay, some candidates they write, they make it very simple. They just say having a good time management is important, full stop. All right, it can create an effect, but you also need to give a reason. Why is it important? Why is having good time management important? All right, so okay, and I combine time management, okay, and then I come with the second, the C5, content 5, be organized. Yeah, the first rule of having good time management is by being organized. Okay, so this is our content point 5. Content point 5. Good time management. Time management is content point 4. Important for you to achieve those goals. So the first rule of having good time management is by being organized so that you can prioritize. This is a linker or a conjunction. So that you can prioritize on your academic and extracurricular activities. All right, so I have written content point 4 and 5. And now you have to give one idea or suggestion for content point 6. Okay, what do we see here? What can you see? Adam, this is the time to grab opportunities knocking on your door, be it polishing your potentials to meeting new friends. Therefore, brother, I strongly suggest for you to adapt faster to university life. Okay, so this is an elaboration. Everything may seem so exciting, and knowing you, you probably would like to go for every club and society. Be selective as well. Now, this is the content point that I'm looking at. Yeah, 6. Be selective as well, as you don't have much time for everything. Join activities that you are passionate about. So the content point is I'm asking my brother to be selective over his choices of extracurricular activities. Don't go for everything. Okay? And I have a question here. Are you still into track and field? A question. Yeah, you are writing to a brother, informal letter. You have to have a conversation in the essay. So it's a question, and it is by giving question. I think your university has great athletes. Lucky you. Okay, let's look at the last sentence. Only 2 words is creating an effect. And so this is putting an emphasis that he is lucky because his university has great athletes and he is also an athlete. Okay, am I going too fast? I hope not. All right. So what I'm trying to show you is only from these 3 paragraphs, the introduction, second paragraph, third paragraph, we are writing on all the content points. We have some elaboration and examples, and we are also putting in a variety in our sentences, in our sentence structure. Okay, so maybe later you can do this with your own teacher, identify them again, underline, underline, underline. And when you write the next content points in the next paragraphs, try to do this. Okay, so I ask you to actually continue the essay, right? I don't have time to do everything, and I want you to actually try on your own. By having this sample, this example of an essay of how I want it to be done, you at least have an idea how can you write better, how can you attempt directed writing better. Okay, all right. I think we are already coming to the end of everything because it's already 10 o'clock and you will have half an hour break. Okay. I just want to recap, emphasize. Okay, so please bear with me another 5 minutes, please. Yeah, don't rush off to recess yet. Please bear with me another few minutes. Now, let's take a look at this. These are some of the things I want to emphasize. So, for today's workshop for informal letter on directed writing, I have stressed and emphasized on the tone and style for letter writing. I have also shown you, taught you how you can create sentence variety and why having sentence variety is very important. And also we have gone through the list of cohesive devices. And finally, you have attempted a little bit of letter writing by writing introduction and 6 content points at least. Yeah. And I also have gone through the discussion of the sample essay. I showed you which sentence is in the form of question, which one is a use of an idiom, which one is in the form of a command or exclamation, for example. And why are these important? Because they are all giving effects to your writing in order for you to write better. Why? Okay, coming back to this. Why coming back to this? Because even Lembaga Peperiksaan has mentioned that candidates who scored high marks are able to write essays that are flair with vocabulary that are precise and varied. All right, and also varied sentence types. This is very important. You know, a variation in the sentences, able to use cohesive devices and logical connectors to link sentences. So that is why I emphasize on these two aspects today in our workshop for our informal letter writing under directed writing this morning. Okay, all right. And later when you watch this video again, you can look back what is told, go through again, yeah, and then go through what I have prepared for you. I am already going to end my presentation. Okay, so before I end, number one, I would like to say thank you to all of you. Thank you, Kinta Utara District, SISC Plus officers, teachers, friends, and definitely Form 5s in Kinta Utara for attending to this workshop today. Thank you so much for being with me for 2 solid hours. All right. And I sincerely hope that you have picked up something important, that you have learned something important. Now, I know this may not be so easy because we are doing this online. I'm not there directly, physically to monitor you, to see your expressions, whether you are following or not. However, your teachers are there, okay, and they are helping me out as well. So, my advice is, please, once you go back, you come back home, yeah, from school, watch this video again. How do you do it? Okay, please ask your teachers. You just have to go to my YouTube channel. It's Aisyah Muhammad Hamdan. Okay, I will post it again in our teachers group. Please watch again. Sit down. All right, go slow on yourself. You can repeat, go back, take down notes because now you are doing it with so many in the class or even in a hall. So probably it is not so feasible. All right, so do this, please. And I'm very sure some teachers would also like to discuss what the students have gauged, all right, from the session today. So go ahead by all means. And don't forget to complete whatever task that you are supposed to complete. Finish them up, all right? Complete writing the letter and do all the exercises that I have provided in your module or in your handouts. I sincerely apologize for any shortcomings. I am sorry if my presentation or my delivery was too fast, too slow, not accessible, or whatever problems that may happen, may arise. I thank everyone for watching, for being with me. Please subscribe if you think that you can, it benefits you. I will post more videos in the future. And I hope pupils, you are excellent group of students. Don't give up, write better, improve on your writing. Please practice, practice, practice. Okay, and I want to give a shout out to all because I had received a lot of requests. So hi and bye to RPS students, RPS girls. Okay, hi and bye. And hi and bye to all my Binon students, Form 5 in the hall. I'm coming back to school after this. I'll be with you in a short while. Thank you and bye to everyone. Sri Ampang, Raja Chulan, St. Michael, AMC, ACS. I wish I can name all, but there are 52 schools in Kinta Utara. Okay, so after this, you will be having another great time with Mr. Mohana from MGS for the continuous writing workshop, CW, and you'll be doing it over Google Meet. Okay, and I really hope whatever I have prepared, whatever I have shared, they are all beneficial. So teachers, you can also PM me or personally message me if you need any clarification or to ask questions from your students. They probably have queries and all. Thank you so much, PGS. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you. Have a good break. Have a good recess, and keep on writing. Enjoy writing. Bye. I'm going to end the broadcast. Goodbye.